Felt like having in-ear monitors felt like I was able to be at my best. The biggest thing for me with performing with Wedges is that it was hard to control dynamics, and I sing sometimes very softly and also sing sometimes very loudly. And I always lost the more intimate sounds of my vocals, and so I kind of just was singing without really hearing myself back always. And then of course I could hear myself when I went loud, but with the in-ear monitors it was like I'm in a studio. It's as intimate as being in a studio, and you can hear yourself, you know, like swallow. You know, it's super close, and I need that. I think every singer needs that, but for me specifically, I need to hear myself extremely well to be able to do the little things that I like to do. Obviously in my mix I want my vocals right at the same volume as the music, so that, because a lot of times if the vocal is over the music, you tend to hold back, and then if the vocal is below the music, you tend to just over push it all. And but the one thing I definitely always need is I need a good amount of drums in the mix, and that comes from probably being in a band with a loud drummer, and it's what gets me going and just makes me feel it. And without feeling it, you know, the emotions don't come out like you want. I think the best advice I could give someone who's transitioning from Wedges to in-ears is to view your performance as if you're performing in the studio. The studio version is always a little bit better sounding than the live version sometimes, and that's because the mix is perfect in the studio. I was a little bit worried about, well, if I have it so close, I'm not going to be able to just let loose and be free. And in reality, when you let loose and be free, you're not actually probably giving the best performance vocally, because you are going sharp and flat and whatnot. So if you view it as a studio performance and you kind of learn how to keep it controlled, but then once you learn how to keep it controlled, then let yourself experiment and move around that. And the end product is like amazing. When you hear it back, you're like, yeah, I can tell that I can hear myself. I definitely connect to the music more emotionally because I can hear everything so much more clear. And like I said, it's really like being in a studio. And when you're in a studio, sometimes you capture this magic because it is so intimate, and you're able to create this energy. And the energy isn't lost when you're on stage with the in-ears, because you're not having to combat all these other different sounds. You just have your perfect mix in your ears, and you can, honestly, it feels like I'm the only thing in the room. And that's really cool, especially when you're performing in front of a lot of people. It can be nerve-wracking. I know that the future holds better performances from me now that I have these custom in-ears. I'm always going to be able to hear myself. I'm always going to be able to have the perfect mix that I want, and that's going to give a better performance every time. Take your performance to the next level with Ultimate Ears.